our head, relax our face, neck, chest, shoulders. Let us relax our hands, spinal cord, stomach. Let us relax our buttocks, thighs, knees. Relax our calf muscles, ankles, feet. The entire body is healthy and relaxed. We withdraw our attention from the body and keep it on the breath. Inhalation, exhalation, automatically going on. Effortless. Breath is always in the present moment, ever detached, fresh. Let us withdraw our mind from the breath and focus on our mind itself. What am I feeling? What emotions I am having? What emotions I had just now before the class, during the class, after the class, what emotions I have been having during the day or most of the time. Very important to observe the emotions. I am experiencing anger, happiness, frustration, boredom, but I am not it. Let us withdraw our mind from attention from emotions to thoughts. What kind of thoughts are coming in my mind? What kind of thoughts are staying in my mind? What kind of thoughts are not going from my mind? What kind of thoughts repeatedly come in my mind without any efforts when I'm alone? Definitely, as I'm able to observe the surrounding body, breath, emotions, thoughts, there has to be an observer. Let us pay attention to the observer itself, awareness of the beingness. Let us be aware of our beingness, withdrawing our mind from happenings, doing, feeling, thinking. Happenings are outside, doingness is related to body, feeling is related to mind, thinking is related to the intellect. Again and again, the attention will go to the happening, doing, feeling, thinking. And the sadhana in meditation is to withdraw the attention from the happenings, doing, feeling, thinking to being, beingness. And that is the reason we are called as human beings. This observer is the key for freedom. And paying attention to the awareness to the observer is the final step we can reach in meditation. So let us invoke God's grace and Guru Parampara's blessing to keep our attention on the awareness, where the attention, the observer dissolves and only the awareness remains. And let us invoke it by chanting loudly. Om. 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 Yes, Sudhaji.
Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Shutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavadyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sachidananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunalayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Hari Om Shri
Akhanda Mandala Karam.
Akhanda
Till
Mandala.
Chinmaya only, Chinmayananda. Only first 5 verses.
I don't have the lyrics. Akhanda Mandala Karam. Pratima or somebody else.
Okay. Anybody else? हाँ
You can say Prasad sir.
हाँ निशा जी बोलिए.
Okay. अखंड मंडलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. अज्ञानातिमिराधस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरमीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Tvame, shall I say that?
Yeah, Tvameva Mata.
Yeah. Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu cha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Hari Om.
Nice, Isha ji. Nisha. So we are doing Isavasya Upanishad and we are on the 8th mantra.
So I'm not muted all today, I think. You want me to do that?
हाँ So 8th mantra is the summary of the entire Upanishad, and many scholars attribute that this is the last mantra of the Upanishad. So as we discussed some qualities last time, some portion of the mantra, there are 14 pointers given in this mantra about the main topic of the Upanishad, that is the Isha, that is Brahman, that is self. And also what is the role of that. So we saw the mantra last time, Saparyagat. So Sa means that. What are we talking about? In the 7 mantras, the main topic of the Upanishad, Sa, that is Isha. Paryagat. So Paryagat means all pervading, present everywhere. What is present everywhere? Space. So is it space? No, because space is in the mind. And mind is illumined by the Atma, the self. So Saparyagat means that entity which is all pervasive and is all pervading. So here the Sat aspect is indicated of Brahman. In the definition, Sat, Chit, Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. So here the Sat aspect is mentioned. Existence aspect because existence is all pervading. Even if we say the chair is, the table is. So we are not discussing about existence of something, but existence itself. Very important point to note, because this all conversation makes us fearless, because my existence will never go away. It will never diminish. The existence of something may change from one form to another. The existence of chair may change from chair to table, from table to ash. That ash will again go in the earth, that earth will again, create another tree. So it will go on in rotation, but the existence aspect will not change. So existence of body may change its form, but the existence aspect in me will not change. And I am that existence. So that way one person meditates on this Isavasya Upanishad mantras. And we saw that in the first mantra itself, it has been given, this is how the person meditates on Isavasyam Idagam Sarvam. Shukram. So Shukram means of the nature of bright light, self-illuminator. So here the consciousness aspect is mentioned because the light illumines something. Everything is illumined by consciousness. How do we say that? The objects are illumined by the eyes are illumined by the mind is illumined by the intellect, and the intellect is illumined by the Atma, the self. I am the self. I am the illuminator, not the illumined. That's how I meditate. So these mantras are for meditation. Okay, so here Sat and Chit aspect is informed, indicated. Then it is said that Akayam. So Saparyagat, Shukram, Akayam. Akayam is without body. So here what is indicated? What is there without body? The Jiva is without the body, one can exist. So that is a very important information to us, that I can exist without the body. Whether body is old, body is young, body is small, it doesn't matter, because I, the aspect in me, goes from one body to another body, and before it goes to another body, it exists without the body. So the subtle body and the causal body can exist without the gross body. So what a freedom. The moment I identify myself with the Jiva, one more freedom will go, limitation will dissolve, and fear will go. I am not this body. Akayam, I do not have a body. I have a body, but I am not the body. So where the gross body is indicated in the next, Avranam Asnaviram. Without wounds and scathes, without muscles and veins. So people say, I'm wounded, I'm hurt so many times. People didn't treat me properly. That treatment was only given to the body and mind, but I do not have any wounds. I'm immaculate. Whether the blood is flowing in the veins properly or not, that is related to the body, but I am not this gross body because I am without wound, without veins, avranam, asnaviram. So this all indicates various aspects what we can meditate on. Then what was mentioned in the next word, Shuddham, without stain of ignorance, vasanas. Many people are bothered. I have so many vasanas, so many desires, so many births I have to take. Here again, the jiva aspect is mentioned, that the jiva is independent of all these things. Without stain of ignorance, without stain of vasanas, I am Shuddham. Apapavidam, without sins, doership mentioned here. Jiva aspect again mentioned here. Many people think that I am a sinner. In Christianity, they say the person is born out of sin only. So I am a sinner, so I need to go to heaven and do good things. But here we say that no, I am not a sinner because I am without sin. Apapavidam. Jiva aspect mentioned. Then the next word, kavihi. Kavihi means poet also, but in Sanskrit it also means seer of all, knower of past, present, future. So in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says to Arjun that I know past, present, future of all beings. So here when we say Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi, somebody is, saint achieves a status of God, we say Ishvara, because that person knows past, present, future of all beings. Not that the person wants to know anything, but knows about everybody. And that's the reason when a saint, Mahatma, suppose we go to them, they might say something considering our future because they see our past, present, future, everything in one glance. So Ishwar aspect mentioned here. As we last time mentioned, this 8th mantra points out the Mahavakya. That was a homework given. Though it is not very, very obvious how the Mahavakya is indicated here, but we have to figure it out. The next is Manishi, ruler of the mind. So Ishwar aspect mentioned here. Who is the ruler of the mind? Definitely the illuminator of that is the ruler of the mind. Because without the illumination, the mind cannot function. Because mind also is considered as inert compared to the illuminator self, Atma. Paribhuhu, one who is above everything. That is a name, that is a meaning of Paribhuhu. Prakruti. So that is an indication of Prakruti. Cause of everything, the subtlest. So here the Brahman aspect is mentioned because the cause of Prakriti is Brahman, though it is called as causeless cause. But Brahman is above Prakriti, so Brahman aspect is mentioned here. Swayambhuhu. So this Brahman aspect is one who exists by oneself. No dependence on Prakriti, no dependence on the Jagata, no dependence on anything, and that's the reason it is called as Swayambhu. We saw this God here is Swayambhu. Swayambhu Mandir is there. Swayambhu Murti is there. Swayambhu is that which is created by its own, on its own, not that it is humanly created. Most of the time, Shivlinga, Mahadev's Mandir are called as Swayambhu because those are naturally made and it comes out of the earth or they are found on the earth. They are not made by anybody. So they are called as Swayambhu. So till that we saw, and then one question was asked that what does the Lord who is Nitya Mukta independent do? So now further aspects are mentioned, and then we are going to see where the Mahavakya is indicated, how the Mahavakya is indicated in this 8th mantra. So what does the Lord who is Nitya Mukta do? One who is no dependence, who is all pervading. So here which aspect is mentioned? Definitely when any doing aspect comes, when any controlling aspect comes, when any knowing aspects come. So there has to be different words for it. In Sanskrit, the word is Sakshi, but literal translation of Sakshi is observer. But we must not take Sakshi as observer, we must take Sakshi as illuminator, because Sakshi as observer comes in Hindi or Marathi. So what does the Lord who is Nitya, Mukta, Shuddha do? So what has been mentioned in the next? Yatha Tatyataha gives results. Gives results on what basis? Gives results on artham. So next word is artham. Artham here means karma. So whenever we do karma, who is a karma phaladata? Ishwar aspect. So here Ishwar aspect is mentioned. Vyadhyadat, allotted as per our karma. As per the demerit and merit of our past deed, karma phaladata aspects mentioned. In Ramana Maharshi also mentioned, Karturadnyaya prapyate phalam. In our hand, what is only there? Karmanneva adhikaraste. We have only one adhikar is been given to us by the Lord. That is very important to remember all the time. Only one adhikar Lord has told, I have given to you in this entire universe, that what action you must do this moment. And action includes what thought, what emotion, what action at the body level. That is the only adhikar I have given. Otherwise, I have not given you any adhikar. How this universe should function, whether how this earth should revolve, what should people do, why there is poverty, why there is suffering, why there is war. All this adhikar I have not given. Please do not think all these kind of aspects. Please think only one thing from morning to evening. Every moment, because Lord says that is the only adhikar what I have given. You follow your adhikar. You are not doing what is in your hand and you are asking about my adhikar. Why are you creating all these things? Why there is sorrow? Why there is suffering? Why you are doing this to me? You have no adhikar to ask. You have only one adhikar. What I should do this moment. What I must feel this moment. What I must think this moment. So karma phaladata aspect mentioned here. And Shashvatabhya. So here the creator aspect is mentioned, where Brahman creates the Maya, the Prakriti creates the Prajapati. Then Prajapati is created by Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So we should not get confused by all these terms. Now after this slide, we will again have a definition. What is the definition of Brahman? What is the definition of Ishvara? We must be clear because we are into Upanishad now. Who is Prajapati? One who gives powers, functions to all to run this universe for eternal years. Creator aspect mentioned. So we can see there is Brahman, then there is Prakriti. This Prakriti is under the wash of Ishvara. Ishvara, we can say Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and then all the devatas. In that Prajapati also will come. So Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh will give authority to Prajapati. Prajapati will create different worlds. And different worlds are controlled by different devatas. Varuna Devata, Vayu Devata, Jala Devata, Devis, etc. And in between that, they will send some avatar on the planet. That is called as a avatar. And then we will make some statues, Pratima and Pratika. that becomes our area of worshipping that Brahman, that Ishwar, those Devatas, that avatar through a Pratima and Pratik. So when we talk about God, Ishwar, we must remember all those aspects. Simple way to remember and not to get confused in this is distinguishing between guna and akara, form and qualities. Nirguna, nirakara, nirguna, sakara, saguna, sakara. So there are 4 aspects will come. So we know we have done this topic in detail where all these things are mentioned in different aspects. But here in Upanishad, the main thing what has been mentioned is oneness in them. Oneness. So now again, repetition of this. Brahman plus Maya is equal to Ishwara. That is a definition of Brahman. So Ishwara will have Maya. That's the reason Ishwara is called as Mayapati. Creator of Maya. Brahman is not the creator, they say. Brahman is there. Atma plus Avidya is equal to Jiva. If I identify with Avidya, I will get identified with body, mind, intellect. If the Jiva Bhava identifies with Atma, I will call myself as Satchidananda Swarup. So Brahman is equal to Ishvara is equal to Jiva indicated here. In short, the 8th mantra indicates the Mahavakya. How? So Mahavakya Tattvamasi is indicated here through these pointers. Words from Akayam to Apapa indicate Atma illuminating the Jiva Bhava. Because here it says so many indicators are there of Jiva. Then words from Kavihi to Sambhyaha indicate Atma attributes to Tatpada. Tatpada and Twampada. Twam means this about Jiva and Tat means that we are going to see now. And words from Saparyagat and Shukram. Words Saparyagat and Shukram indicate Asi because it indicates consciousness, it indicates existence and the all-pervasive nature, oneness. Oneness in that and oneness in this. So though, as I mentioned, it is not very obvious, but scholars who are of Sanskrit, who know grammar, who study this for their entire life, they figure it out because every Upanishad will be indicated by some Mahavakya indirectly, directly, which are popular, not so popular, but basic aspect in Upanishad is to understand oneness between Jiva, Jagata and Jagdishvara. Aham Brahmasmi, I am that. So, this is how the Mahavakya is indicated. Now we'll just summarize the 8th mantra and then see the first thing what we chant, which today we have not chanted. Before this Upanishad, we have to chant Om Purnamada Purnamidam. So we will chant that and see the meaning of that because now after 8th mantra, we had told that we will discuss the significance of Om Purnamada Purnamidam. This is a Shanti mantra of this Upanishad. So first mantra, Jnana Marga is indicated, goal of life is to focus on the aspect of the Isha, saying that it is pervading everything. Jagatyam Jagata. This is indicated to a person who is having sattvic temperament and the person follows path of renunciation. Second mantra is for the people who have a rajasic temperament and path of life is given to be followed in day-to-day, every day, every hour, every moment, and that is path of selfless action. That is a key if I am not able to renounce so easily. Third, Ajnana Marga, current status. Current status, I am in Ajnana because my actions are basically driven by the identification that I am body, mind, intellect. So tamasic temperament. Path to lower worlds. So path of renunciation, path of selfless action, path to lower worlds. Because I seek pleasure in the world and that will take me to the lower worlds where there is pleasure but there is sorrow and suffering also. Fourth mantra we saw, nature of self without conditioning indicated. Anedajat we saw, then so many indicators were there without conditioning. Swarupa Lakshana was given. Then the fifth mantra we saw, nature of self with conditioning indicated. Contradictory pointers were given. It is far also, it is near also, it is inside me also, it is outside me also. So this was indicated so that we don't get caught up in the jungle of words. We transcend the words because words are only pointers, not the pointed. So the fifth mantra indicates self with conditioning. Sixth mantra, one who realizes the self, nature and vision of the knower of the self. So Sthita Prajna Lakshan were given. One of the key important Sthita Prajna Lakshan is the person who is in equanimity with all and no hatred towards any beings on this planet. Adveshta sarva bhutana, maitra karuna evacha. Bhagavad Gita says. Same thing here. This verse is supposed to be, Gurudev has mentioned that one of the favorite verse. Adveshta sarva bhutana, maitra karuna evacha. So this is how we must strive. That if anybody, any wrong thought coming in my mind, anytime I must say, no. Then I am going away from realization. I'm going away from goal of life. I'm not following the path of life as mentioned in the scriptures. Seventh, result of knowing this oneness truth. What is the result? No moha, no shoka, no bhaya. So this question was asked, when there is no moha, where is a question of shoka? So we saw there are two types of delusion, that I am this body, mind, intellect, and this world is real. The moment I have this kind of delusion, I will seek happiness only in this world and it will take me away to the lower worlds. And when that will happen, there will be bhaya, because where there is desire, there is fear. They go hand in hand. But when this delusion goes that I shift, okay, I have body, mind, intellect, and my nature is Satchitananda Swarup in reality, that what I have to experience now. I know it, I have no doubt. So Shravan is done, Manan is done. Now I meditate on these mantras what are given in Isavasya Upanishad, and I understand this oneness, Advitiya, Ekameva Advitiyam. Oneness. Jagat. Last time we discussed this Jagat, world created by the God, that which changes continuously. Jayate gacchati iti jagata. That is, God's world is very beautiful, but it is changing. And sansara means world created by me in my mind. So what is the meaning of sansara word in Sanskrit? That which revolves, repeats. And that's the reason our thoughts, emotions, attachments keep on repeating in circle and circle and circle. That's the reason Adi Shankaracharya says that sansara goes from our mind and then the sansari becomes a sannyasi, swami. So that's the reason we saw in the first verse, Ishavasyam Vidagam Sarvam, Jagatyam Jagata. Both the Jagata I transcend. But that doesn't mean that when my Jagat, Sansara goes from my mind, I experience this world, but I know it is illusory. So my reactions towards it would be different. When I know the mirage water is false, I will not go to search any fish in that or go for fishing or take bath or to quench my thirst, because I will not even pay attention to it, because I know that mirage water cannot even quench my thirst. I will not even look at that water. Even if I look, I say, what a wonderment. Nice. God's world cannot give us sorrow. It is Satyam Shivam Sundaram. My world gives me sorrow because causes of that are me, mindness, like, dislike, desire, and that only happens because of the delusion that I am body, mind, intellect, and not knowing my real nature as Sat Chit Ananda. Then we saw the Isha, nature of self, in the 8th mantra. Summary pointed out in 14 ways and Mahavakya pointed out, indicated. by different words, different aspects, mentioning that all this is pervaded by one Isha. So after this mantra, Shankaracharya gives lot of references of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, other Upanishads, to indicate that in all Upanishads, Jnana and Karma Marga are mentioned and indicated in this way. Either you follow Jnana Marga by renouncing if you are having a sattvic temperament, or if you cannot follow, then the only choice, the only way for us for attaining that highest bliss is to follow the selfless action marga, that is a karma marga. So here we complete the 8th mantra. So before we go ahead, who will chant Om Purnamada Purnavidam? That significance we will see now, because now we have understood the 8 mantras. So we'll understand the significance of this Shanti mantra, which is the summary of this entire Upanishad and gives us the essence of the entire teachings. So who will chant?
Muted all, na?
So you chant, Manisha.
Okay.
Om.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate.
Thank you, Manisha. So now from today, we should chant, we must chant, we can, we must. Gurudev says this mantra every day. Every day we must chant, because now we are going to see the meaning of it. Remembering the meaning, suppose we chant slowly, we will move towards this goal, what this mantra indicates. So this mantra has 3 parts. What is the meaning of Purna? Purna, Dirgha, whole, complete, circle, infinite, complete. So what I am saying indirectly, that I must say in English, suppose I forget this mantra, I don't know how to chant this mantra in English, they say, I am whole and complete. I am not incomplete without this person, that situation, that object. So what a thought, what we are bringing in. Even if I say, I am whole and complete, I do not need anything from outside for my completeness. I am already whole and complete. Then why do I feel incomplete? Because of the delusion. So that we will see our journey is from Purnatva to illusory Apurnatva to again Purnatva after understanding this. So I am whole and complete. One sentence, if I say, then so many things will vanish from my mind. I will not have any other challenge, because what I am saying is that I am whole and complete. Why it is important? Before we go into technical meaning, is that because all my desires, vasanas, desire, thoughts, actions, emotions emerge from a sense of incompleteness. And that sense of incompleteness is illusory, delusory. So what is the first part? Purnamada, Purnamidam, Adaha. That is Purna, whole, complete. This is also Purna. Now, what is that and what is this? And why it is called that and this? Why there are 2 words used? So, that is Purna, Adaha, Brahman, infinity, Isha. Not known to us, and it is far off right now for us, because I have not yet experienced that infinity. We say that God, which is far off. Right now it is far off in terms of our experience. So that's the reason it is indicated as that. That's the reason Nisargadatta Maharaj book is there. I am that. Aham Brahmasmi. So Brahman means that, and Aham means Atma. This is also Purna, Idam. So here Idam means world, Jagat, my inside and outside both. I can perceive here and now. So both are Purna. Okay, I understand. Brahman is Purna, Isha is Purna. But how can you say world is Purna? So, number 1 question. Suppose we look around. This world has no boundaries. Where the world is ending? This solar system is there. After that, Milky Way is there. That universe is there. There are so many Brahmandas, there are so many universes, there are so many galaxies where there is a limit. There is no limit for this world. So the world has no limits. That which has no limit is infinite. So just we look around, there is so much of variety. Aneka Brahmandas there. Aneka Koti Brahmanda Nayaka we say. Ishwara. So there are Aneka Koti Brahmanda. So many Brahmandas, so many universes, so many solar systems, so many earths. In that earth, there is one India, one Chembur, one Ghatkobar, in that one house. That is one family. In that family, one me, in that one Jiva. So this world also is infinite. So how world is infinite? It has no boundaries. So infinite. So if the substratum is infinite, the superimposition also is infinite. So are there two infinites? No. Because there cannot be two infinites. Infinite is something that which has no boundaries. Because the moment it has limits and boundaries, it will be something finite. So when Brahman is infinite, now we have to pay attention. When Brahman is infinite, when we say world also infinite, there cannot be two infinite. So we say this world of names and forms, the Jagata is only superimposed on the Brahman which is infinite. As the snake is superimposed on the rope. And why the Jagat is infinite? Last time we had given, because if the snake is of 5 feet, we will see a 5 feet rope. Suppose the snake is 10 feet, we will see a 10 feet rope. We will see a 10 feet snake. So if the Brahman substratum is infinite, the Jagat also will also be infinite. And why we are concluding it is only a superimposition? Because there cannot be two infinites. There can be only one infinite. So it is superimposition. Now we have to hold on to this. Superimposition is something we see where something is not. Adhyasa. We see, suppose we are going on a beach. There we see something shining and say it is silver, because for me anything shining white, it is silver. When we go near, it is shell. So names and forms are superimposed on this Satchidananda Swarup. The moment we remove the names and form, what remains is my pure state, Satchidananda. That's the reason this meditation, what we do in the beginning, is basically moving from names and forms to this beingness whose nature is Satchit Ananda. And that's the reason the nature of Satchidananda is Nirvikar and Nirguna, no Akar and no Guna. So there are two infinites? No, there can be only one. And that's the reason when they say that world is infinite and the Brahman also is infinite, wherever I identify, I must experience that infiniteness, because now I know that I am. So I am conscious and the existent aspect is there. The only thing what is missing from my experience is the infinite part. And so I declare that I am full and complete. Om Purnamada Purnamidam. What will happen knowing this vision? My heart must expand. Heart means not physical heart. My thinking must expand. It must pervade everything like Jagatyam Jagat Isavasya Idagam Sarvam. That's the reason this is chanted before we start the Upanishad. And I must experience that fullness. And when we experience the fullness, I will experience the oneness. Oh, now 2 parts are remaining. I think we should complete. All of you are okay, then I can complete. Okay, I'll just complete in 2-3 minutes and then next session I'll just revise it. What is the second part? Purnat Purna Mudachate. From that Purna, this Purna has come. How from one infinite, another infinite can come? Now this is where the Ajatavad of Advaita comes, which is unbeatable. Because from one infinite, another infinite cannot come. Because from infinite, infinite cannot move. So where is the material cause? Where is the efficient cause? Where is the intelligent cause? So definitely we cannot Except that this statement that Om Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate, how one infinite will come out of another infinite, indicates that creation is neither a production nor a modification. Now, all these things we are only learning here because we have not studied other schools of thoughts. Other schools of thoughts do not accepting. They say that the world is a modification of Brahman. Somebody says that world is production of this Brahman. But we say that it is only an appearance, and Ajatavad goes further and say, now we have to ready with wearing some helmet to digest this, what Vedanta Advait philosophy talks about. It says, Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. From that Purna, if this Purna is removed, Purna alone remains. From that Brahman, if these names and forms and world is removed, Purna Satchitananda Swarup remains, and that is me. Because I am not identifying with Jagata, I am not identifying with body, mind, intellect, because I can observe it. And the perceiver and the perceived has to be different. Witnesser and the witnesser has to be different. Witnessed has to be different. Experiencer and experienced has to be different. The knower and known has to be different. The observer and observed also has to be different. So I am the observer, and that observer is the illuminator, that is Atma. So that is me. So that is how one person meditates on this and realizes the self. So 0 minus 0 is 0, or infinity minus infinity is infinity. So when we remove from this Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate, only Purna remains. So my nature is Purna. We are going to analyze it next time. How part we will take it next time. So this is a literal meaning of this mantra. 3 parts. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. So with that, we repeat this and complete our today's session. Now knowing the exact meaning that I am in reality whole and complete. The more I say this affirmation, the more I will move towards the reality, which is the truth, ultimate truth. Because all my actions, thoughts, emotions, desires, vasanas from the causal body, subtle body, gross body is coming from the basic illusion, delusion, myth, that is, I am not whole and complete, but I am apurna. My life is apurna without this, without this, without this, without this. The moment I understand this, all the apurnata goes, and I experience that purnatva, which is called as immortality, amrutatvam. Those who studied Maitri Brahmana Upanishad, there also we discussed this mantra in detail. How? Some technical points we will see in the next class. That how are you saying that it is only an appearance? How are you saying that it is not now we have to listen before we complete this class and contemplate for the next 8 days that how are you saying it is not even an appearance? So Dvaita philosophy becomes appearance philosophy, it's superimposition, and then again it is going to conclude that this world is not even an appearance because it was never created. World is never created from Brahman point of view. If you go to sun and ask, why did you create darkness? Sun will say, I didn't create darkness. I don't know what is darkness. What are you talking about? If I go to Brahman and ask, why did you create the world? Brahman will say, okay, I didn't create, Maya created. But you created Maya? No. Maya is Samaya, that we will see next time. Maya is that which is not there only. So now this paradoxical truth, we have to understand, and so much of relief comes. What maja going on? All this is drama only, and then we become free. Otherwise, we are getting so much stuck into small. Crying and cribbing and becoming a sansari, and then Lord is saying you become a sannyasi, one who holds sari and says sorry, 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 sansari. So all this information is coming to us to release us from all bondages and limitation and small things we are holding and say, oh, all this universal drama going on. Let me enjoy. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. There is an Upanishad.